Vincent van Gogh was a man who saw the world in colors that no one else could see. Yet for most of his life, he felt like a total stranger to the people around him. Born in the Netherlands, he didn't start out as a painter. He tried being an art dealer, a teacher, and even a preacher in a poor mining village. He was so dedicated to the poor that he gave away all his clothes and slept on the floor. But his intense personality often made people uncomfortable, and he was eventually let go from the church. It wasn't until he was 27 years old that he finally decided to become an artist, crammed into a tiny room and teaching himself how to draw. One of the biggest secrets of Vincent's career was that he was almost entirely supported by his younger brother, Theo. Theo worked in an art gallery and sent Vincent money for paint, canvas, and food for years. In return, Vincent sent Theo hundreds of letters that were so detailed they now act like a diary of his soul. Despite his incredible talent, Vincent was his own worst critic. He often painted over his old canvases because he couldn't afford new ones, meaning some of his greatest masterpieces are actually hidden under layers, other paintings. During his entire life, he only sold one single painting, and he spent much of his time living on nothing but coffee, bread, and absinthe. The most famous story about Vincent is, of course, the night he cut off part of his own ear. At the time, he was living in a yellow house in France, hoping to start an artist colony with his friend Paul Gauguin. But the two men fought constantly, and after a particularly bad argument, Vincent suffered a mental breakdown and harmed himself. Following this, he checked himself into an asylum, and it was from his barred hospital window that he painted the Starry Night. He wasn't looking at a real sky when he painted it. He was painting the swirling, glowing energy he felt in his mind, turning his suffering into something beautiful. Vincent's life ended in a field in France when he was only 37 years old. While history long suggested he took his own life, some modern historians have a secret theory that he might be accidentally shot by a teenager and chose to take the blame to protect the boy. Regardless of how it happened, he died in his brother's arms, feeling like his work had been a failure.